Hello everyone. This video is part of the Windows tutorial series, where you will learn the basics of how to secure an enterprise-level Windows operating system. The objective for today's lesson is to learn the basics of a Windows operating system, including navigating the graphical user interface, the control panel, and Windows settings. This video is perfect for anyone who has either never had experience with a Windows operating system or who has used a Windows operating system but might not know all of the features that it has or the technical terminology for those features. Please keep in mind that in this video I will be showing you how to navigate to the control panel and the settings and stuff like that, but for future videos we won't be showing you how to navigate to those areas. We'll just jump right in. So without further ado, let's get started. For today's lesson, we will be using the Windows 10 LTSB operating system. This is a standard Windows operating system. There are two different user interfaces that you will use when interacting with an operating system. There is the graphical user interface, or the GUI, and there's also the text-based user interface. This is the graphical user interface. To interact with this, you would click on buttons or on icons in order to open up an app or, do a setting. So stuff like that. For a text-based user interface, which we'll go over later, you would type in commands. One of the basic parts of a Windows operating system is the taskbar. This is the taskbar down here. Normally on a taskbar, you would have different applications pinned to it, and you could launch an application or minimize or maximize an application by clicking on the taskbar. So say if you wanted to pin an application to the taskbar, you could click on the you would open the application, and down here, you could click pin to taskbar, or you could conversely unpin it. Another important feature of the Windows operating system is the Start menu. To activate the Start menu, click on the Windows icon on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. So this is the Start menu. As you can see here, you have the option to open up different applications here, or you can also look at switching accounts, opening up the settings, or the power options. You can also pin programs to the Start menu by right-clicking and clicking Pin to Start. You can also unpin them the same way. Now another feature of the Start menu is to right-click on the Start menu icon, and as you can see here, you have access to different programs or different applications on the Windows operating system, such as computer management, the command prompt, or the task manager. Another important feature of the Windows operating system is Windows Search. To access Windows Search, either you can click on the Start menu and just start typing, or you can click on the magnifying glass here. Here you can search for apps, files, and settings. Another feature of the Windows operating system that is not on this version, but that you will see on other versions, is Cortana. Cortana is Microsoft's virtual assistant. It is similar to Siri. Another important feature of the Windows operating system is the File Explorer. One way to access the File Explorer is by right-clicking and clicking File Explorer. There it is. From the File Explorer, you could examine the storage of your Windows operating system. You could look through the desktop or the downloads. You also have access to them on this side. You could look through any disk drives, or if you plug in any other devices, you can also access them from here. Another feature of the Windows operating system is the control panel. You can also access it by right-clicking and clicking Control Panel. This is where you'll probably be spending most of your time. This is where you would set the different security settings for the Windows operating system. Over time, you will become very familiar with it. Another feature that you can access is the settings. There are many different ways to access the settings. As you can see, there's a shortcut here and one here. If you look through the settings, you will see that it has a lot of the same, it has similar functionalities to what's in the control panel. This is because Windows has slowly started migrating the settings from the control panel to the settings. Another feature that is not accessible here, but that you will see on other Windows operating systems, is Microsoft Edge. That's Microsoft's new web browser. The web browser that you will see on here is Internet Explorer. So you can click and search for Internet Explorer. So in the future, you will be learning different security settings for Internet Explorer. Another feature of the Windows operating system is Notepad. This is just a common desktop app that you might use. It is recommended that you download Notepad++ instead, because it has more features than Notepad. Another common app that you will see on the Windows operating system that you probably won't use very much, but that is there, is the Windows Media Player. As you can see, since this is the first time opening it up, I still need to select a setting. I won't do that for now, but if you ever do need to configure Windows Media Player, that's how you would do it. Another common feature that is not on this version of Windows 10, but that you will see, is the Microsoft Store. That is where you can purchase or download different apps for your computer. Another important feature of the Windows operating system is the Task Manager. There are many different ways to access it. One way is to, on your keyboard, press Control, Alt, and Delete, and then select the Task Manager. You can also press Control, Shift, and Escape in order to directly open it, or you can right-click on the Start menu and click Task Manager. I won't go into it right now, but in the future we will be looking at the many different features that are in Task Manager, because as you can see, there's processes, so you can see what processes are running. You can look at the performance, you can see what apps are opening up during startup, you can see who's logged into the computer, stuff like that. Another important feature of the Windows operating system is the command prompt. So you can right-click and click command prompt, but you can also type in command prompt or cmd.exe. This is an example of a text-based user interface. So in order to interact with the operating system here, you would type in different commands. This is often faster than using the graphical user interface or the GUI, and it does offer more functionality. Another alternative to the command prompt is PowerShell. You can search for PowerShell. It is similar to the command prompt, except it has more abilities, and it is recommended that at some point you learn how to use PowerShell. It is a very powerful tool that can be used for scripting. If you don't know what a script is, it's basically a list of commands that you can execute. Having a script saves time, because instead of having to individually go and set different settings, or instead of having to type them into the command prompt, you can just run the script and have it all automatically configured. Another important feature of the Windows operating system is the Microsoft Management Console. You can access it by typing MMC and select yes. This is the Microsoft Management Console. The Microsoft Management Console uses uses what are called snap-ins. So you would click Add and Remove Snap-in. As you can see, you have a lot of different settings here. You have certificates, computer management, event viewer. So the benefit for using this is, say you're running a large network. When you come in the morning, you will have different things that you'll need to access. So instead of having to open up each one individually, you can add them all in to the Microsoft Management Console and save it. And then when you come in the next morning, you can just open it up and automatically have all your settings there. Say you could automatically have event viewer or computer management open for you. So this is another operating system that you will be learning how to work with. Windows Server 2016 is essentially used to manage servers and manage networks. So keep in mind that many of the features that I showed you on Windows 10 will be available on Windows Server 2016. They have a lot of the same basic functionalities, except Windows Server has a few other built-in applications that you can use to manage a large network. A common feature that you will be using on Windows Server 2016 is the Server Manager. Usually it will be open as soon as you start Windows Server. It'll automatically open. But here we can just search for it and open it. So this is the dashboard. As you can see, you can add different roles and features. You can add other servers to manage, stuff like that. So say you wanted to run a DHCP server, you would add the DHCP role, and then you could go to Tools, and DHCP server would be an option here. So you can see there's PowerShell is here, services. So a lot of the same stuff that you saw on Windows 10 is available here. All right, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in to your first Windows tutorial. Future Windows tutorials, we will be showing you how to set different settings on the Windows operating system. This was just to kind of introduce you to the different features that are available on Windows and give you some of the technical terminology. If you have any more questions, don't be afraid to ask. You can come talk to Julian or me, or you can also leave a comment in the comment section below. Thanks, guys.